series. Every Tuesday, we'll be talking to a guest for the classic Spurs golden moments. Due to the storm Barra, I will be linking out of this tonight because the internet may go whatever. So you'll be left in the hands with my two co-hosts. Next to me is the man needing no introduction. He rarely rocks his flat cap. It's Cuva99. Underneath to him is the man who should have been Matt Letiz's brother, but we don't know if he is or not. It's Phil Letiz. And down below me is the queen of the Harris Army, the queen of the Tantrum Gold Army, and the queen everywhere. It's Queen Elly. Lads, I hope you're all right. Enjoy the show, and I'm popping out. So it's down to you, Phil. You're taking over.
Brilliant. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to our show. As Dermot said, what we've got tonight, we've got our special guest, Elly, on, who's going to talk us through her top 5 Tottenham moments from her lifetime. But before we start that, let's check in with Mr. Cuba. How are you, sir?
Doing very well here, thanks, Phil. Looking forward to having a good chat with Elly. She's got certainly got a lot of Spurs memories. She's been to a hell of a lot of games, hasn't she?
Yeah, I'd be very envious of the amount of games that she's been to. When I saw her on Sunday, and she's like, I went to this final and that final, and I've been here and there. And yeah, she's got a good bit of Tottenham history there. So are you there, Elly?
Oh, she's gone. That's a good start. Our only guest has gone. That's
yeah. I come on as a guest. Right, she's got.
Hello, Elly. Here we go.
We are. I think we got back in.
There we go. Hi, Elly. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. My earphones are not picking up. There's something wrong with them. So I have to take them out. I just talk like this.
All right. Well, welcome to Tottenham Tantrum Gold. And we were just saying to everybody, good evening to Wayne. Wayne's our first guest in for the night. But we'd like you to obviously talk about your top Tottenham moments. And we're going to say sort of in your lifetime. So take it away and talk us through some Tottenham magic.
Okay, so the first one, as you know, I'm a Spurs lady. So I was really, really looking forward to my first real FA Cup final. My first trophy that we could have won was in 1981, because 1971, 1973, I was a bit young. I was only 9 and 10. So I didn't really take it in, you know, because you're a little nipper, aren't you? But by the time I was 19, we got to the FA Cup final, and I remember queuing up for the tickets and going to the first match. It was a bit drab. Yeah, and then the night match came along, and the first match, Ricky Villa hadn't played well, and he'd got substituted, and he was looked desolate, walking off as a lonely figure down to the tunnel. And I felt so sorry for her, and I hope he plays him for the second game because he'll be up for it. Anyway, the match started, and was so excited, you know, 19 years old with all my brothers and my dad, and it was amazing. The night games are always special as well, aren't they, lads? The floodlights at Wembley.
Whereabouts in the stadium were you sat then?
So I was sat in the tunnel end where the players come out, right by the tunnel, right at the top of the tier. And
wow.
I'd made a banner, and it said Spurs have got more power than City because they had Paul Power.
Yeah.
And leading up to the game, I saw another banner. It said, "Watch out, girls! It's the year of the cock." That's so, because it was the Chinese year of the cockerel.
Cockerel, yeah.
I was laughing my head off. Went into the ground laughing, as you do. Right, then the match started, and we went 1-0 up. Ricky Villa, brilliant goal. Ozzy done that brilliant dribble. Fantastic dribble. He beat 2 men, and then he shot it, and it got rebounded to Archibald. Archibald shot it, rebounded to Ricky, and he slotted it home. Brilliant. I went crazy. The whole ground erupted because it was, I'd say it was at least 80% Spurs that night.
I was just going to say to you, was there more Tottenham fans or more Man City? Because Man City weren't really a massive club like they are now in those days, were they?
No, they weren't. They were like a little club in Manchester, weren't they? Little quiet cousins. The ones who were asleep for a long time. Right, so basically we scored that first goal, and I was like in elation. And then they got that fantastic goal, Mackenzie.
Wow.
Brilliant goal, wasn't it? Bang, right into our top net. I thought, oh my God. It's like the emotions go from euphoria to, oh my God, look, we've got to get back into this again. Then they score again. Get a penalty in the second half. And I thought, oh my God, here we go again. Even in those years, you thought, oh, Spurs are going to do a Spurs.
Were you fearing the worst then? Did you think we would lose at that point?
I was quietly optimistic, but I was thinking, you know, like your brain ticks over. You think, oh, what's going to happen now? But then I saw Ozzy. He was arguing with the referee for a good 10 minutes. He was chasing him all around, saying it wasn't a penalty. And I think, get in the game, Ozzy. Get in the game. We need you. And then Glenn Hoddle and Ozzy just turned their magic on. And then that brilliant Garth Crooks equaliser where he just toe poked it in. And the crowd erupted again, like we're back in the game. So it's like all the emotions come back again because you think, right, we can win this now because we've got the ascendancy. And then that Ricky Villa goal. Oh my God. What a goal, lads. What a goal. Like the tackle and then Tony Galvin just bombs down the wing, checks, passes it. Then Ricky Villa picks it up. And you think, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Because you never know with Ricky what you're going to get. And he weaves in and out. And he's thinking, shoot, Ricky. Everybody's going, shoot. And he's not shooting. He's taking an eternity. Then he shoots. It's like, it seemed like that. But it was quite quick, really, when I watch it back. And he shoots it in the net, right? And I went crazy. All my brothers. I went from the top of the tier to the bottom of the tier. I had hot pants on that day as well. Right, and then I was just getting hugged by all these men kissing me, like hugging me. I thought, yeah, this is a result. You know, because I was a bit of a floozy then. I wasn't married. Right, and I just went crazy. And then the cream on the cake, the cherry on the cake, was when Steve Perryman went to pick up that FA Cup. What a moment. And all it's like dark and then you get shining silver cup. And I don't know if you remember, lads, but a guy jumps down and hugs Steve Perryman as he goes to lift the FA Cup. And he goes, sorry, mate, I had to do it.
I was waiting for you to say that was one of your brothers because you dared them or something.
I wish it was. You know, my brothers would have had the guts to do it as well, I'm telling you. Right, because we're all born in Tottenham, all of us. You know, we got like Tottenham through and through. And what a special night. And Steve Perryman he deserved that. One player I wanted to win it for was Steve Perryman. And I was crying, my eyes out. I was crying and I couldn't stop crying. And we all went home. And then we said, right, we've got to go down to White Hart Lane now and celebrate. So we went down and we didn't come back till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh
then my mum had cooked a big banquet like Greek women do. Yeah, she goes, what time do you call this? She goes. Anyway, she had it all hot because she's a good mother. So we had lovely. We just kept on watching replays of the game and watching Ricky Villa's goal.
So the one I'm going to ask you about is because obviously Graham Roberts talked about him the other day, but how good was Tony Galvin in that game? Because Graham Roberts spoke so highly of him, didn't he?
Yeah, what a great player. Magic, silky skills, bombing. He had a turn of pace as well, which most people didn't give him credit for. You know, because he was a bit like Peter Taylor, but better than Peter Taylor. Peter Taylor used to push the ball forward and run for it. Now, Tony Galvin had close control of the ball and he could dribble in and out and he was a fantastic passer of the ball as well. Great player. Graham Roberts knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Another great player.
So,
Elly,
Elly, I was going to say, you and I both agree that the FA Cup's something really special to this club, don't we? How would you rate it against any other competitions we're in, whether it's European Cups or?
Do you know what? I like winning the FA Cup the most out of everything, even the League Championship. I've never seen us win the league, so I've got nothing to compare it to. I've seen other teams lift it, but it's not the same. You're thinking, bloody sods, they've won it and we haven't again. Like, so 1961 was the last time we did it, and like, I wasn't even born. I was born the next year. So it's like, it's something I've missed, because obviously the euphoria of winning the league must be magical, but I've never experienced it. You know, and you always get the other fans taking a mickey, don't you, saying, "Oh, it's black and white when Spurs won the FA Cup." Not the FA Cup, the League Championship, sorry.
Yeah.
But the FA Cup has got something special in my heart, because up to 1991, we'd won it the most.
Yeah.
We haven't won it since. It's just such a shame.
That's not a great stat, and we're going to move on from that, because you know, we need to get back to those ways.
So many. Was it 28 semi-finals?
I think it's unfortunately, I think it's 8 semi-finals that we've lost on the bounce. But anyway, let's not talk about the bad stuff. Let's talk about your top moments. So what would be so what would be next on your list then, in your top moments after Ricky and the FA Cup?
Must be the Champions League semi-final against Ajax. Oh my God. I had a promise, right, that day. I said, I'm going to get all my daughter's beddings on, 3 beds, and we're going to score 3 goals. So the second half came, and I just done the second one, and I was knackered. And I thought, right, I've got to do the third one. If we don't, we're going to lose. So Lucas Moura had scored 2 goals. I thought, right, I've got to put the third one on, because I'm quite superstitious like that. So I was knackered. I was putting it on, and then my daughter rushes in, and she goes, "We scored, Mum. We scored." I said, "What are you on about? I'm watching the game. We haven't scored." She goes, "Yes," because she's got the the one that tells you before, right? And she goes, "Look, Mum, we scored. Lucas Moura scored. He's 3-3." I said, "Oh my God!" And then she spoilt it for me. I wanted to strangle her. Right, and then I thought, no, I better not strangle her. She's my daughter, Elly. Keep her alive.
Yeah.
Right, and then just as I put the pillowcase on the third bedding, Lucas Moura scores. And I couldn't believe it, because I couldn't believe my daughter. I thought she was making it up. Right, and then when he scored, I just went crazy. I ran up and down the stairs. I went crazy. Oh my God, what a moment. And then at the end of the match, when you see Poch fall to his knees, I just burst out crying again. I'm like a little crybaby, but you have to.
It's just an emotional roller coaster. I mean, Kuva, let's. Can you remember that night? Can you remember what you were doing? Can you remember watching the game? Talk us through your memories of that night.
I just remember him putting the bedding on, and I thought, right, if I do it, I'm a good mother. Plus, we're gonna win the game, and we did. And I thought, right, next time we play in the Champions League final, I'm going to actually do a ritual, because we lost the final. Oh, it was so disappointing, but at least we got there, lads, isn't it?
Yeah.
We got there.
It was extra spicy. It was extra spicy for me, because I had this gut feeling about it being a Liverpool Spurs final, despite Liverpool trailing Barcelona 3-0. And I looked at Barcelona's away form, and I remembered Liverpool doing over Real Madrid with a big comeback win in previous years. So I thought, am I going to put a $5 on this? Us to win on away goals and Liverpool to win 4-0. So I did. So that night, when that Moura goal went in, I had like about 1,500 quid coming in. And I just thought, this is the perfect night. It was just amazing.
Well, a Spurs win and a big payout. That's like, gosh, that's
what I mean? That's the result, isn't it? Yeah,
it is.
So you didn't get to go to that game, then? You obviously did you not get a chance or not?
I was looking after my mum at the time as well.
Okay,
I was looking after my mum, because she slowly was getting iller and iller. So I didn't want to go and leave her, you know. So that's another thing. I thought, if I do stay with my mum, we'll win.
Oh,
so I'm not a religious person, but I'm a superstitious person as well. So I thought, right, I'm going to look after my mum, and we'll do the result. And we did. Oh, it's such a lovely. It's like a warm feeling comes in your body. Like Tottenham Hotspur, we're at the Champions League final.
I'm sure everybody that watches this will be able to go through the same emotions that
So
you
nice.
did and think, we remember that night, from the sublime to the ridiculous, but what a night.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you for that, Elly. So, right
No
then,
problem.
what's going to
You're
be next
welcome.
on your list? Are we going forward or
Right.
are we going backwards?
The next on my list, it's a hard one, but I would put Glenn Hoddle's goal against Watford. Oh my God, what a fantastic goal. I mean, first of all, he's back to the goal. He can't even see the goal. He receives the ball, and within one swift movement, he's lobbed the goalie, and the goalie's on his arse because
he was a tall goal. It was
brilliant.
Steve Sherwood, wasn't it?
It's
And
a
he was,
hard one to call.
yeah.
Yeah. And then he gets it right into the top corner with his back to goal and he's swiveled. What a fantastic goal. I'll just remember, even if it was against Watford, it didn't matter. You know, a goal is a goal in my book, but that goal, it stood out as one of the greatest goals I've ever seen. Even better than Lamella's Rabona against Arsenal.
Yeah. Were you at the game for that one, or were you watching at home?
And Sonny's goal against Burnley.
Yeah.
I was watching it. I wasn't not at the game again. I think I shouldn't go to the games, then we win.
But yeah, any other memorable goals from Sir Glenn?
Frozen? You're not frozen. Thank God.
No, I said any other memorable goals from Glenn Hoddle. Obviously, that would have to be number one, wouldn't it? But
yes. Oh, many goals. Right, the one against Man United, the volley against Man United, and the volley against Nottingham Forest. The one against Chelsea in the FA Cup at Stamford Bridge, fantastic. The one against Liverpool, the Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
He scored so many. It's hard to choose. Free kicks. His free kicks were like better than Ronaldo's, and that's saying something.
He was certainly a genius on the ball, wasn't he?
Genius player, and he's so elegant as well. You know, like his physique, very elegant. He looked fantastic in those short shorts as well.
I can't answer that, Elly, but I'm probably going to say you're right.
And then we got Ginola.
That's like win-win for you guys, isn't it?
But you know what? I'm gonna say something. I want to put Gazza's goal along with Hoddle's goal as tied against Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final because I can't separate them. They're both genius goals, and Gazza scoring against Arsenal, I've got to put it on a par. Because that goal, it was like, and the commentary from Barry Davies, schoolboys, old stuff. And then you see Vinny Samways running towards Gazza, and he's got like a beaming smile, and he goes, yes, like that. It's such a brilliant moment to beat Arsenal as well, and knock them out, stop them from doing the double as well. You know, that's what I mean. That's what football is made for, so that you can get these moments in football. You know, I just think Gazza was such a brilliant player, technically superior to all the other players in the league, and I would put him alongside Hoddle as well as a genius.
Yeah, they certainly
type of genius, but a genius nevertheless. Oh my God, I used to love watching him play because he was so robust. You couldn't knock him off the ball because he wouldn't let you have it. It's mine. You're not having it.
That's certainly the way he played his football, wasn't it? But yeah, some great memories there. So yeah, no, brilliant.
Pity got the injury.
Yeah. Okay then.
Pity he went to Lazio. I would have loved to have had him for a few more years, even with his dodgy knee, because we had Ledley King with a dodgy knee, and he was a superb player. Different.
I think
defender.
I think you'd speak on behalf of all Tottenham fans there, saying we wish we'd had Gazza for longer, but you know we got to look and go. We had him for a time.
Yeah.
We saw him pretty much at his very best, didn't we? So that's what I always go down for me. Is like when I saw Gazza, he was in his prime, and he was
Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal. So, but that's great.
Absolutely
Okay then.
phenomenal.
Right,
so
let's
the
move
last
on to your next one, because you're running out of spaces now. Good evening to the
the
Truth
last
Sets You Free. Great to see you on here, guys.
Yeah, the last one is different because I remember being really excited that we were going to sign Jurgen Klinsmann. We were going to get a World Cup winner, and I thought, right, oh my God, if we get him, it's going to be such a coup, and we can stick it to Arsenal. We got Jurgen Klinsmann. Who have you got? Right. So when he came, and then he played against Sheffield Wednesday, and everybody was taking a mickey out of him in the British press, all the fans saying he's a diver. And then he scored that goal, and then he did the famous dive, and all the players dived with him. That's such a pinnacle moment. What a fantastic, to be a Spurs fan and have Jurgen Klinsmann, the great Jurgen Klinsmann, come to play with Teddy Sheringham and Nicky Barmby. They were three brilliant players. I would say they're the best combination, Sheringham and Klinsmann, that we've ever had in that one season under Ozzy. All right, Ozzy got the sack a little bit later, but they were phenomenal. They didn't care about defence. Attack. It was brilliant to watch.
Yeah, we did the watch along last night for the Sheffield Wednesday game, and it, the Amazon documentary was called All or Nothing. That's exactly what Tottenham were last night. All or nothing.
All or nothing. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to play like that in cup competitions.
Yeah.
But in the league, you've got to be more solid, because the better teams will find you out. They will. The Watfords and the Brightons and, I don't know, all the lower teams, you can get results against them going gun-ho and even playing on the counter-attack. You can get a result. As we showed against Norwich, we didn't play particularly well, but what we did was in the last third was fantastic. That's all you need. You need three players to turn it on at the top of your field, and you can win any match, regardless of what the defence do, because the attack can overdo what they do. Oversee what their mistakes are and win the match. Well, we're lucky that Norwich didn't score.
Yeah, the Truth Sets You Free has just sent a message in saying Sheringham 9 goals in 11 games before injury in 93-94. Yes. Absolutely underrated beyond. What a legend. What would you say to that, Elly?
And I liken him to Harry Kane as well, because Harry Kane is very much like Teddy Sheringham. He likes to play the number 10 role, especially as he's getting older. And I don't mind. I don't mind Harry Kane playing that role. But Teddy Sheringham, he played that role to perfection. And they used to do this corner where they'd pass it to Sheringham and he'd bang it in. And it worked quite a lot of times till teams sussed us out and then they put a man on Sheringham. But he still managed to score goals, because he would beat his marker, because he was very intelligent, uses his brain. Football is not all about skill. It's about intelligence, movement, and using your nod.
What's Kuva? Oh, sorry, Elly. Kuva, what was your thoughts on Teddy? Not that we're going to be shocked, but how would you have rated him as one of our great players?
Oh, he was just a sublime footballer. As Elly said, it was the footballing intelligence. He was they like to say he was a yard ahead of everybody in his mind, first of all. So he didn't need great pace. He knew where to be. He could always find space. He had a great sense of where to be. That was that would hurt the opposition the most. And a lot of that time it was just to be in that little pivot role to play somebody else in, and then turn his back and turn around and get into the box again, receive the cross coming in after that. So it much the same as it's a good comparison with Harry Kane, isn't it? The way he could pick the ball up deep and then create the opportunity for himself, but using somebody else to do it. It was a fantastic player, one of my favourites ever.
Wow, that's a big compliment, isn't it?
He had it all. He could score goals from long distance, short distance, headers. He had it all, Teddy. He could chest it down and volley it in. He was
He,
fabulous.
he was a good header of the ball, wasn't he? If I remember,
Yes.
with Teddy, really good with good in the air.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Fabulous.
great. Okay, thank you for that, Ellie. And then
No problem. You're welcome.
it's your final one now. So which is going to be your number 5 Tottenham moment?
The final one, I would say, well, I wasn't even born, but I've got to mention the 1961 double winning side. I've got to mention them because even though I wasn't born, my dad was telling me about them when I was 3 years old anyway. He was chewing my ear off, telling me how fabulous we were. And it wasn't just 61, we won the FA Cup in 62 and the European Cup Winners' Cup in 63. Then by the time I was 5, we won the FA Cup against Chelsea when we beat Chelsea for the first time in the final. So the 1961 team, they need to mention because they didn't. I think they were the only team to have won the double in 64 years, for starters. And they were the first London team, the first team that century to have done the double. So they were pioneers, and they done it in style. They scored 115 goals. That's amazing.
That's phenomenal, isn't it?
Horrible pitches. You've got to remember, lads, on those horrible pitches that were like dirt pitches, mud. And the ball would get stuck and they'll have to bloody retrieve it from the mud. Right, so you imagine those footballers, Dave Mackay, Danny Blanchflyer, John White, Cliff Jones, Jimmy Greaves wasn't there, but he joined later in 62, didn't he?
Yeah.
But even though he didn't play in the double winning side, Jimmy Greaves was like, he was a hero of everybody. Him, and then later on Martin Chivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Martin Chivers was a superb striker as well. He has to get a special mention. And then, forget the 61 team, obviously, but I like to give a special mention to Steve Perryman. Because what a great club captain and what a great footballer. He should have played more times for England. It's shameful that England didn't pick him.
Yeah. What do you think happened? What do you think happened there then, Ellie? Why do you think he didn't play for England? Because he had such a phenomenal career at Tottenham, didn't he?
No. It's just so annoying because England, they tend, like Matthew Letizia, I know you're named after him, they didn't even pick him many matches. You know, and he was a fabulous footballer. There's so many fabulous footballers that didn't play enough games for England. You know, Steve Perryman was fabulous. He would run his socks off. He was skillful. His passing ability was fabulous as well. He hardly ever lost the ball. It was like, if I had to liken him to someone in the team now, he's like Højbjerg, but even better than Højbjerg. And that's hard for me to say, because you know I love Højbjerg, don't you? Right, and he was better than Højbjerg.
Yeah.
Because he had an engine, but he was quicker on the front foot, and he could turn.
Yeah, Wayne's just said in the comments, Perryman was loyal and just a fantastic player. It was just they were miles ahead. Just a comment from the Truth Sets You Free. They have half and half highlights for every Spurs season on YouTube, covering each game's goals and highlights in 3 minutes. He's just watched the 93-94 season, and to be honest, Sheringham was miles ahead of everybody. And that's exactly what both yourself and Coover have talked about. And it was, I feel grateful to have been able to see him in the Spurs shirt because, that season with him and Klinsmann, whoa.
The proof is in the pudding, isn't it? Because when you think about it, Man United come calling, you've made it as a footballer. And it was a shame to lose him to Man United. I was gutted. Because I was thinking, why can't we just keep our best players, even then? And then they were coming for Berbatov after 2 years as well. And then we've lost so many good strikers to other teams. If we just kept them.
But that's
annoying as a Spurs fan, because you think we're Tottenham Hotspur. We're not like some fly-by-night. we're Tottenham Hotspur. We should be able to keep our star players. That's why I'm so happy that Levy didn't sell Kane. And Kane had to strop on, he did. But now he's got his... Well, my mum would say something rude. But
let's not say anything.
He's got his
Sorry.
mojo back, hasn't he?
Yeah. Kuva, what were you going to say, my friend? What?
Yeah, he's got his mojo back.
I was just going to say it was regarding the 60s team, the double winning side, the Super Spurs as well. Because I'm the same as you, Elly. My dad, he talked constantly about them, and you got to know the players even though you haven't watched them play. You knew all the stories about them, every little incident that ever happened, and you got to really admire them and love them just from the stories. I got to the crazy point for myself where my favourite player was Dave Mackay, and I'd never watched him play. It was it's funny as how the stories stick.
I know. Well, Bill Nicholson said about Dave Mackay, when he came to the club, we became great. We became a great, glorious club. And when he lost him, he was crying. Bill Nicholson was crying the day we lost him.
Yeah, I can imagine a player of that influence, that skill, and that you just, it's just unheard of now. But you got the impression, a bit like he was saying the other night, of he would have bled for Tottenham, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just an amazing team. And I wish I was born in 1941 so that I could have savoured that moment as well. I would have been 20 years old. That would have been just perfect. But we can't have everything in life, lads, can we?
No, not yet. Right, Elly, my last question then. So you've given us 5 absolutely classic moments. If you could go back in history and watch any one of those moments again, which one would be your number one?
Any one of those games again?
Any one of those 5 that you've said is your classic, which one would you love to go back and see again?
You know what? I would choose the Champions League semi-final again.
Okay.
Because it was such an elation. And like watching Potts drop to his knees, it was so emotional, and he was emotional. And it's like Lucas Moura, they're all tapping him on his head. And well done, Lucas. And then Ericsson, and then you see Juan Foyth, who's not even in the team, and Harry Kane running on the pitch with his dodgy knee ankle, like he's running like a pedigree horse. Whoosh!
God, you're starting me off now.
Yeah. And like we said, it flashes onto Glenn Hoddle as well in the studio. And like he's gone crazy.
It nearly finished him off, didn't it? It nearly finished him off.
Genius can't even speak. I know. Because Ferdinand, on the second goal, he bangs him in the chest. Right, and then I remember Genius, he went, he couldn't speak. Because he couldn't believe that because he said there's something in the air. Because when Ziyech hit the post, and then we scored that third goal, he said there's something going on here. And there was. It was like a magical night. Magical. Even more magical than the FA Cup, winning the FA Cup. And that's hard for me to say. It wrenches my heart to say it. But I just feel like that moment. And Pochettino, I loved Pochettino, the way he made us play. He made us play some fabulous football. And we should have won something. It was such a travesty that we didn't win anything. But what he did win is our hearts.
Yeah.
He won our hearts. And that,
I would say he definitely did that.
Hard. It is really hard. Because we're the most fickle fans, aren't we? We are. Because we've had to put up with a lot, with Levy coming in 21 years, one trophy. That's not Tottenham Hotspur. We're a club of glory. We're supposed to be a glorious club, right? And we are a club of glory, but we want to. 21 years we've been in the doldrums, haven't we, lads? So let's think of that moment in the Champions League, and we went to the final. So the next time we get there, and there will be a next time, we will get to the final again. I don't believe that guy yesterday saying that we weren't supposed to be there. Yes, we were, because we deserved it. We deserved it because we battled throughout.
We got there on our merits, and that for
Yes.
me very much feels the Tottenham way. And you
Yes.
talk of 21 years of not so good stuff, but those 5 highlights you've mentioned, I'm sure there's a lot of people listening in that are sat there thinking, I know where I was when Villa scored, I know where I was when Klinsmann came. We all remember the Ajax night, but there's some absolutely brilliant memories in there, Elly, and
Of course there is.
It's a great club, isn't it? Let's face it, it's a great club.
Do you know what? A lot of fans that don't support Spurs, they still admire us. Because when you go to other grounds, I don't know about you lads, but they still admire us and they respect us. We do get the respect. All right, we haven't been so good in the last 21 years, but we're built on glory, our club, and we've had some fabulous players. Even though we haven't won trophies in that, we've had some fabulous players playing some fabulous football, scoring some brilliant goals. Look at Sonny's goal against Burnley that won the Puskas Award, and then Eric Lamella's Rabona against Arsenal, one goal of the season last year.
Yeah.
It's just we've got to hold on to what we're about, Spurs, and then we will be glorious again. The players have got to really believe, because these set of players under Conte.
We lost Elly from that. That's a pity.
Elly, that's a shame. But I know you're going to listen to us again, Elly. But I'm going to just say big up. Thank you for coming on and doing your moments. Cooper, what did you make of Elly's top moments?
Well, a lot of people could have picked out that. We've had so many over the years, but they were iconic moments, weren't they? I mean, even that recent one against Ajax was going to stay in memory for a long, long time. And that's not even winning a trophy. It was just such a good, feel-good night, because we were down and out, weren't we? It was an impossible comeback.
Yeah. I wish I knew someone once who put £5 on it before, and I'm very envious of that gentleman to this day. Dermot, what was your view on Elly's top moments?
I wasn't watching.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sorry, mate.
I wasn't sure if you were listening.
It was funny. The internet kept going in and out, right? And it was like watching you. Like a 1 minute, Cooper had his hand on his hat, like he was going to tip his hat off. Phil's head was sideways like this one, but it was just in and out. But Cooper, I think we're going to finish off now. But Cooper, take us out.
So we're just wrapping up now. Yep. But I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Please like and subscribe to the channel. We are growing and we are trying to do as much content as we can, just to be something different and just give you an insight into the absolute glorious history of Tottenham Hotspur. It's not always been as it's been for the last few years. But there was a massive club out there with steeped in history, and the more we can bring to you guys, then the better.
And as we say at the bottom of the screen there, if you're enjoying the content, please give us a like and subscribe, because it's what keeps us going. We're trying our best to reach 150 subscribers by Christmas. That'll be a really big milestone for us. So please hit that button.
Cooper, where are we on next?
I think we're going to go over to a certain Mr. Harris's Irish Hotspur channel tonight, aren't we? Have a little watch on all of that.
Why is that, then, guys?
The special guest he has on shares my birthday. So yeah. No, when are we on next, Cooper? You and me.
I think we should be back on in the morning tomorrow. We had unusual circumstances today with the storm hitting and Dermot going offline, and when without Phil as well at that point, we decided it was probably best to just postpone it for a bit. So we should be back on in the morning with Ben Kaufman joining us.
We're talking about the coronavirus outbreak in Spurs, and will the Rennes game go ahead, and then also will the game go ahead the weekend. And Phil, when are we on next as a trio? We're back on Friday night on.
We'll be back on Friday evening. We should be doing a little preview of an old Tottenham and Brighton game.
We can't find one, so we might do another watch along. So
okay,
it might surprise you all with the watch along we're going to pick. But you big up Friday night, Phil. Well,
yeah.
Well, we'll see what we can find anyway. I might be able to find a Brighton Spurs game, but they're hard to come by because so much of the time Brighton are in a lower division to us, and we just weren't playing enough.
Just a quick question to you two: did you enjoy tonight?
Yeah, it was, for me. It was nice to have a guest do something slightly different. But the best thing was just reminiscing, because each bit that Elly talked about, and we didn't know in advance what she was going to sort of talk about, but you were looking at it going. As soon as she said 1981 FA Cup, we all know what that was like. We were there. We will remember it. It was great. But each of those stories is, and you could do another 15 top moments in Tottenham, but it's hard to pick out the top 5. But
we will get Elly on again. We will get Elly on again to do her all-time Spurs 11. That's coming up, and the first show of that will be with my 2 co-hosts. They're the first 2 guests on that show. So thank you everyone for watching. Kuva, where can people find you very quickly?
Well, here obviously, and here in the morning again tomorrow. Otherwise, the usual rounds. We're all sort of we came from the Irish Hotspur sort of crowd, didn't we? And David Harris and Jack Kanicki doing such a great job on their channel. So you find me there most of my time. Otherwise, the 2 Brians up on Tottenham on tour. They do a really good show that links into a lot of other channels in this community we've got. Paxton Road team I tend to follow a little bit, and We Are Tottenham TV lately. Been on there a few times, bit of impromptu hosting the other night, which was funny. We're taking over the internet. This
slowly we're doing it. We are. And Phil, where can people find you apart from here?
Obviously, you can find me here. I also like yourselves, guys, in and out of the Irish Hotspur, giving us a great start in our YouTube journey, and then basically just popping up here, there, and everywhere. But I also do later on a Friday evening, we do the 4 Hotspurs over in Just the Tottenham Guys channel. And that's us, really, sort of here, there, and everywhere, but out and about very often. And, glad that people are still tuning in and loving what we do. So thank you, everyone.
But this is the #1 channel, apart from David Harris. We're the #2 channel.
And, of course, big up to Elly for being our guest today.
Yeah.
Even if you finished quickly.
Thank you, Elly, for coming on. Really appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoy your meal wherever you were. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Keep everyone safe if you are in Ireland. Keep yourself with the storm, and also in England. And God bless you all. And we'll hopefully see you tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, being Cuba, with Ben Kaufman at the coffee shop. Come on, you Spurs. Over the Spurs! We're watching it! Over the